Welcome to Film Freaks. This is Justin Llewellyn.
Eddie Williams.
And tonight, Eddie is going to be doing another solo review. This time of catching up on movies that he's missed out throughout the year. And he's the first one he's going to be talking about. Well, he watched a couple of movies recently, and the first one he's going to be discussing is Haunt, which is
Yeah,
one of
so
the
Haunt is the 2019 horror film that is currently in theaters right now, but only limited release. And this film's not really got anybody really famous. Like the main girl, she was a American Idol singer who's supposedly going to be in that movie called Polaroid that still has not been released. But again, the rest of the cast is unknown. Like they've never did anything before. And this is actually directed by Scott Beck and Brian Woods, who did The Quiet Place. And it's produced by Eli Roth, which Quiet Place, going back to that, was such a fucking great movie.
yeah
And it's
they
actually written by
produced
them too.
yeah they produced and wrote Quiet Place from what I read up on, which was
Yeah,
pretty good because they at least got a lot of talent involved with that.
yeah. Scott Beck and Brian Woods wrote and directed this movie. And the film takes place on Halloween night when a group of friends end up discovering a flyer talking about a extreme haunted house deep out in the woods, and they were looking for a scare for the night, and this flyer promises that it will fear on their darkest fears, and it's one of these type of haunted houses that if you guys have been to them, there's some ones that you have to sign waivers for that are really intense. It's one of those, but it's deep out in the woods, and the night turns deadly when as they go throughout the rides, they start to discover horrifying realizations that the things that they're going through and seeing are actually real.
Oh,
I'm gonna
really?
leave it at that. Yeah. So when I didn't actually. It took me a while to discover this movie. It was actually a month ago when I saw the trailers, and I was like, okay, that looks pretty good. But then again, let's look at some of the past histories with these type of movies. What do? They go and get a bunch of no-name actors, and the casts are usually bad, especially with anything with Eli Roth. I love the dude, don't get me wrong, but anyways, I saw the trailers to it. I was like, okay, that's cool, and it was kind of like Hellfest that we saw from last year, which I personally loved Hellfest. I don't get the hate for it,
I
but
did too. I especially loved how it was a return to form for slasher films.
yeah, and it seems like since all right, we did since the one that Toby Hooper did were involved a like carnival type setting.
The Funhouse.
Yeah, and then you had Dark Ride, which came out in the early 2000s, which I actually liked, and Hellfest we saw last year, which was really good. I thought this is another type of film, kind of similar, but it's haunted house, and I saw after a while, I kind of really didn't pay much attention to when its release date was, and I actually watched quite a few reviews, and shockingly, a lot of people are saying this is like the most underrated film of 2019. Please see it. So I was like, okay, a lot of people are really fucking praising this. What? So I had to check this out. Upon seeing the film, I will agree. This is 2019's probably top three most underrated films in the top three. And I will probably say that it's easily in the top two best horror films I saw this year.
Wow,
I'm blown away. Like, this movie was fucking intense. I mean, nerve wracking. And there's not many films that I've seen this year that had me just scratching and just like made me shiver on some scenes. I don't really get like that because I don't watch. I mean, I watch so much scary movies, nothing really bothers me. But this film is up there, and if you're the type of person that has a lot of like anxiety when you watch really scary shit, or to me, you probably would be scary. But example, my girlfriend, she couldn't handle it. Chapter 1. If you're on that type level, this probably be too much for you. Because
Yeah.
this movie does really good at digging into your anxiety. And
I
that's you don't see that very often in horror films. Do that good.
that's
Yeah, get into my pros. I will say that for a bunch of no-namers, usually that's a bad sign, no-name casts. The cast did fucking great in this movie. Like, I was not even annoyed at all with anybody. I was kind of impressed with some of the acting. And, great writing with their lines, but also I felt like they were so terrified, it almost comes off as if they didn't tell them what they were about to be in, what kind of movie they're going to be in. So when their scares come off, they get fucking terrified, and you actually believe it.
that's good.
So that I gotta say, that's one of my praises is the cast. The gore effects, holy shit! This movie was fucking brutal. Holy shit! I mean, you're getting eyes gouged out, fucking skulls getting rammed in, faces getting squashed to nothing. I was like, my God. And I loved how they set up these different obstacle courses in different areas in this haunted house. It kind of reminded me of a film we saw earlier that was kind of a pleasant surprise, Escape Room.
Yeah, I
Where
was going to ask you about
Yeah,
that.
it was kind of different like that. And it's if you've been in haunted houses, they have different settings, and some of them get really fucking intense. Like there's this part where this girl they're walking through these spider webs, and you think, okay, spider webs. Oh, look at them little fake spiders. They actually put fucking poisonous spiders in this scene. They're real fucking spiders.
Oh shit!
That shit fucking was really intense.
Yeah, I
And
have fear of spiders myself.
yeah, it will make you shiver if you don't really. If you're an arachnophobia type person, it will get you. Especially there's a girl who her biggest fears is spiders, and they actually taunt her with it more and more and more. Like there's this part that she goes in this little thing like a coffin, and they dump tarantulas on her. They let
Oh shit!
tarantulas fall over. I mean, it's a just shivering scene. That's what I love about this movie because somehow, and I'll get into a con I do have with it, but these people have certain fears, and each one of these areas represents like their greatest fears, which was actually kind of cool.
That's kind of cool. It kind of reminds me of like it and like escape rooms kind of
That's
level.
what I'm saying. And what's funny is like some of these things that, and that's another thing gotta praise is the people that's dressed up in suits and stuff, like like that are doing all the like the brutal shit and killing people. They're all in different suits, and there's this one that's like he's like the main focus, or two of them, and they're like clowns. They're
Oh
dressed up
shit!
kind of like a clown movie, but it's not because every one of these guys have different suits. Like
You know
one
what that
has
reminds me of, right? With the whole change in different suits angle. It reminds me of that movie Terror Train, where well, it was just one killer, but in that movie, the killer dressed up in different uniforms.
See, this one is different because there's everyone who like works in this ride who's dressed up in suits are all killers. So this movie's got multiple of them. There's like 10
Oh
of them.
shit!
Yeah, there's like 10 of them. So, and I'll tell you more about that later on. Um, like I said, the intensity, this movie did not stop. And that's why I really praise, because a lot of times when movies try to do very good with intense shit, they end up kind of falling and getting up there and falling, kind of getting up there. It just keeps, like a roller coaster. This one, it actually keeps going and going. And going back to what I was saying about some of the other little rooms they have, like, man, they booby trap these rooms. Holy shit. Like there's this one room, like it's made out of blades.
Oh shit!
Yeah, like, and it's like they make these rooms like where the floor comes out and like it turns into fucking nails, like where it goes through people's feet and shit.
Oh damn!
there's a lot of booby trap and shit. Like a lot of Saw feel to it too on some of those scenes.
Yeah.
Another thing I did like was um there wasn't many jump scares in this, and when they were there, they were really effective. But what I really thought they did pretty good on, and I mean, I'm glad they went with this. They do a lot of shit that kind of remind me from Halloween: The Shape, where they're just in the background with no music playing.
I love that. I really love that. That's building great tension right there.
That's what I'm saying. They do this throughout the whole movie, like where you just like you're screaming at the screen, he's right there, he's right there. And then like the way that these guys are, they're pretty fucking creepy. Like they blend into their atmosphere. Like there's like this part where like the wall looks all the same, and they match, their outfit matches the wall, and you just see them just slowly crawl into them. It is fucked up. And like another thing I did like was I kind of like that was a pretty good opening that actually makes you can add this to your list of Halloween movies, because the movie opens up in a fall atmosphere. Halloween kind of looks like Haddonfield, and funny enough, the movie actually takes place in Illinois.
Holy shit.
Opening scene where it's dark, trick or treaters, you hear the wind, you hear like the atmosphere is very grim. It's orange, and you see pumpkins lit up at people's houses while they're going trick or treating. So it's very Halloween feel to it. It is like that's what they want you to. They want this to be added with it to Halloween watch list. So when the movie gets a little bit further in, these people start revealing who they are. I will tell you right now, I did not see that coming. I don't want to spoil it, but let's just say that I was like shocked and all how like nasty and demented these motherfuckers look under their masks. I was like, ooh,
Ooh,
like
shit.
they're human, but they're like, I was like, ooh, they're like, I don't know what it is. Is it Cenobites? I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? And this is a what the fuck you're watching in a good way.
Unlike the
Because
other film we watched.
these motherfuckers are satanic. And then when it gets to this scene, you know what kind of reminds me of? It starts kind of feeling like Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses.
Or I was gonna say, did it kind of remind you of Mandy from last year?
Yeah, yeah. Like they're fucked up looking. I was like, whoa. And they're all satanic looking.
Damn.
I was like, I was expecting your typical humans. I was like, whoa. And they have like this fetish for like mutilation, self-mutilation. It's like, what the fuck? So, anyways, another praise I gotta give is the score was really good. Was pretty good. You know, they try to use it very little, but when it is used, it's done right. Kind of remind me from Sicarios, where it does that theme
Yeah.
from Sicario. That's
Yeah.
what it sounds like.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow, that one's literally called The Beast.
I can keep going on that I really enjoyed about this film. So let me get in my cons. One of my problems I do have is unanswered questions with the killers and why they're doing what they're doing. And the fact that they knew a lot about these people and the purpose of why, because you see like one of them kind of at the beginning at this Halloween party way before they go to the place out in the woods, and it's just like, how did they know to go after them? Like they'd say, hey, you know, trick them to come to their haunted house. Like there's a lot of very empty questions that ain't answered with that. And like example, also the killers know where they live, so like they taunt them by saying, if you know, we'll come to your house and kill your whole fucking family. It's like, how do you know exactly where they live and shit like that? Another problem I had was I wish they didn't go with that atypical fucking ending.
Oh,
Yeah, they go with the if you see the movie and you see that they have that main character and then they have that side main character that's kind of had the hots for the main character, and you see a typical fucking ending with the two, that kind of bothered me. They could have not. The movie was doing so well. They could have just fucking just tricked us and maybe gave us a sad ending where you think she got away and she didn't type ending.
Yeah.
So I have a problem with that. Another thing I did have a problem with was they kind of it's kind of a pro con. For it not trying to be you get these standard characters, they actually try to build up on the main character with something that happened to her when she was young. And while it tries to build her character to where you kind of you can relate to her because she had something fucked up happen to her, and you can kind of really root for the woman. The backstory also doesn't really play any effect at all in the story. So I don't get why they flash back a few times to go back to watching, what happened to her when she was a kid. I didn't get that. Other than that, I mean, I really don't have any other problems with the film. I'm telling you, it's criminal that Hellfest last year was able to get national wide release, movie, and movies like this have made mainstream theaters, and this one is only limited.
Yeah,
I don't get it. It is shot very well. It's very orangey and dark and grim. So I'm like, why? This movie was a big fucking surprise. I couldn't believe how good this was, despite some little flaws I do have with it. I wouldn't say it's in my top 10. I wouldn't call it phenomenal, but it's up. It is up high on my grade. So with that being said, I'm gonna be real nice here because I really enjoyed this movie and I will rewatch this film in time. And I'm gonna give this film a high compelling grade on the Film Freaks meter.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out myself, man. Because it seemed like it would definitely go with a great double feature with Hellfest from last year. 'Cause I like these movies that are set in that, kind of carnival type route.
Well, it's not that. It's not just that, but I think this film, because they promote Halloween and feel to it like Hellfest kind of did too, but this one really took it up a notch. This feels like you could watch this with movies like Tales of Halloween, Trick or Treat, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll definitely get to check it out, especially hopefully by the end of the month because we're in the month of October now.
So, dude, yeah, you have to watch it in October.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. So we'll definitely be checking that out as soon as I can. For those of you who have also seen Haunt, let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. And if you like what you see here, you can feel free to like and subscribe to our channel and check out some of our reviews here and our website at filmfreaks.com. We'll be seeing you in our next review. We'll see you later.